I have noticed that students don't know a lot of things before starting animation. Like they have completed the courses, they have learned animation, but still they don't know the basic things which they should be aware of before animating. So, in this video, I'm going to share some points which are very crucial before you start animating, like before you approach the shot. So, the first thing is when you open the file in the software, you should first set the file to 24 frames per second, that is 24 fps. I have seen students who have already learned but they don't know about the difference between 24 fps and 30 fps. So that is some other problem. But yes, you should always keep the file 24 fps when you start animating, until and unless it is told by the client to change the frames per second, then only you will have to change, or else everything which you animate in India is at 24 frames per second. So make sure you set the file at 24 frames per second. That is the very first thing you should do. The second thing, you should plan like what you are going to do in the shot. It's an acting shot or fighting shot or body mechanics or whatever it is. Be it very clear. You should have the picture in your mind how it is going to look. Even if you don't know the skills, but you should have a clear picture. Like you might get difficulty in animating, but then you will be having the clean picture in your mind that how it will look. But it would be difficult for you to achieve that quality, but still you should have that clarity of the shot. That is the second thing. Third thing is, you should always make sure before using IK and FK controllers. I have seen most of the students, they just animate. They don't know the difference or where to use these controls. So wherever there are contacts, like wherever there are contact poses or contact with an object or something, there you should not use FK controls. If you know that the shot is going to have this kind of animation, then don't start with FK controls. Switch the controls. Make it IK controls. So that when on the frame which there will be an interaction with the object, you will be able to manipulate it easily. If it's an FK control, suppose, and if you want to hold a glass from the table, then you will have to counter animate all the things. If you set the pose here, if you lift it, then if you want to animate, then you will have to animate three controllers, this one and this one, like the wrist, elbow and the shoulder. There will be three controllers you will have to animate if you use FK, and that is not at all recommended. If there is anything which is in touch with the body, you should not use FK controls. Let's say legs. Legs are always on the ground. So do we use FK controls in the legs? No. So why we should use FK controls in the hands? Only and only if there is no interaction of any object with the hands, then you should go for FK, because that would be easier for you to animate. One more thing for which you should not use FK controls. There is one more reason, that anything which has a weight, if you have the shot in which you are picking up something which has weight and you have to get the feel of the weight, then FK controls are not at all recommended, because you cannot have the feeling of weight when you use FK controls. Every time you will have to counter animate things, and that is not at all recommended. There is a system, there is a process of doing certain things. You should know how you should do that, and that things are not taught. That is the problem. But let's forget about those things. I'll just share the pointers. So that was regarding the FK controls. Another thing is, whenever you animate something, maybe the character or whatever, any object or something, it should never come to stop suddenly. I have seen that the new animators, the fresher animators, the beginners, they are not able to understand the timing. So there is always an ease in and ease out for every action you do. Suppose if you are moving the hand from here to here, so normally we'll do like this. So it is coming to an hold in ease in, like it is getting ease out, slow, slow, and then it stops. It does not just hit like this. Whatever most of the students do, like they animate something and they don't give the cushion, the ease in and ease out when the animation starts and when the animation ends. So everything looks like stiff animation. So that is not a good thing. So you should take care about those things, and you can manipulate them. That you can give it ease in and ease out through graph editor. The curves, you can change the curves. So that is the next pointer. The last one is, whenever you animate, suppose you have a character, you should create a selection of all the controllers of the body, and then key all the controllers on every key pose and the in betweens. So whenever you will animate a single part apart from the key pose and the in betweens, so that pose will be registered there on that frame. If you don't key all the controllers there, and if you move hands, then you don't know on what frame the hand is having the last key. So it will move from that keyframe, not the key pose. So I have seen this thing that the new animators make a lot of mistake in this. They only key controllers wherever it is necessary. Suppose it is necessary for the hand, so they will key the hand. They will not key the legs. So then when they will animate the legs will start taking the values from the previous key. So then everything gets jumbled up and the timeline appears to be very messy. So there is a process, there is a system that how you should animate in a professional way. So please do take care of these things which I have mentioned. These are very important things you should, pointers you should remember before you start animating, before you just step into it. So thank you for watching the video, and if you think that you have got some value or some clarity on these topics and you were struggling before watching this video, then do like the video and comment in the comment section, and subscribe to my YouTube channel as well to stay updated for the 3D animation updates.